Hey guys, what's up? We're on bag 12, so I've got 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 left. 5 bags split up into about 10 bags, if not more. Here's a little ASMR for you. I do like when there's only 2 bags to a number, because then it's like I can kind of separate stuff within somewhat. A little bit of Spider-Gwen, another bit of Spider-Gwen, another bit of Spider-Gwen. That's the rest of them here. All right. Let's do this thing. So, if you have not checked out the news lately, PSA is going to start grading comics. That's absolutely insane to me. I've never personally graded anything through PSA, but now that we have another grading company, another 12. But there's gotta be a little white piece. Unless it's meant to be clear. Yeah, it is clear. So this to that to that to that to that. All right. So yeah, I think it's absolutely crazy that we've got another option for the possibility of grading comics. I am curious as to what that's going to be like. Simply because, like, as you can see, I love my CBCS slabs. CGC slabs are good, but most of my PC is all CBCS. Just because at the time it was cheaper. It was more beneficial for me to do that. And honestly, I was grading to keep, so I didn't really care. Now that PSA is coming out with their own slabs, I'm like, what do I want to do with this? But honestly, I haven't graded in a long time for very good reason. I think that it's just absolutely over the top to say that a grading company needs to dictate my collection. A lot of people will tell you that they're only going to grade with the grading company that does the best job. Personally, I completely agree. Grade with the company you like the most. And personally, I would say that CBCS has never done me wrong. They've always treated my books well. Everything I've sent to them has always come back with a good level, I guess is the best way to put it. A good grade compared to what we thought it was going to get. There was one that was kind of a shock, but that was my own fault for not looking hard enough at the back and just kind of trusting the process that I had put it through at the time. And again, that was on me. That wasn't on who graded it. That wasn't on who cleaned it. I didn't see it. He didn't know that we wanted anything more than a typical press and clean, so it came back lower than we expected. And there was a stain on the back that myself and my LCS guy didn't catch because it presents very well. It's this one up here. You can't see it in this, but it presents from the cover at about a 7.58. But there's a stain on the back that pushed it down to a 3.5. So, with all that being said, it's one of those ones where, I did not pay 7.0 pricing for it, so I'm not upset. I paid pretty much exactly what it's worth at a 3.5. So I didn't get screwed on the deal. It definitely wasn't a bad deal to make. But it was a learning experience nonetheless. And one that I kind of have learned a lot from. And I honestly don't believe I've graded a book since that one. It's been a long, long time for again, good reasons. I just don't feel that it's worth it anymore to grade books, especially these modern era books. There might be somewhere down the line where I decide to get books graded again. But honestly, I don't foresee that being anytime soon. I just don't. I would love to tell you that grading books is absolutely amazing, and once you own a graded book, you're going to keep wanting to get them. In all honesty, according to a lot of people who have been in the collecting business for years, they're dying. Just people aren't buying them. My LCS owner and a lot of other LCS people say they can't get them off their shelves. Honestly, during COVID, they couldn't keep them on the shelves. Everything was getting graded, and there was a lot going on in the grading community. We all saw it. I mean, the writing was on the wall that there was going to be mistakes made. No doubt about it. But I think the amount of mistakes that were made by especially CGC, more so than any other grading company out there, was rather astounding. It was just beyond what I was expecting, and I'm a pretty new collector. I've been collecting and grading since 2018. So definitely not new to this, but definitely not I haven't been into it for a long, long time, like other people have. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I know a graded comic when I see one, because a lot of the time I don't. There's times where I get humbled, I guess is the best way to put it. And I mean, we've all been there. But definitely enjoy the aspect of the comic book community. Oh, am I going to do that? There we go. Time, just because there's so much to do when it comes to the tiling. And I feel that it's quicker to do the whole page and just go to the last step and just look at the tiles on it instead of do a bunch. All right, now we're going to the other side. Such a satisfying click. I was talking with a guy at a Lego show, I guess is the best way to put it. It was an air show, but they had a bunch of Legos there that people had built, and it was definitely a fun experience, especially for my son, who is an absolute um, genius, but more so just absolutely freaking loves building. Um, the kid could build Legos for hours a day and be perfectly a-okay with his life, the world around him, all that fun stuff, because genuinely just absolutely loves the thrill of building. As you can see, similar to me. But he's 5. So definitely loves the thrill of and the joy of building something. So, with all that said, we went to this air show, met a couple guys that build Legos, people that build Legos, in all honesty, and just had an absolute ball of a time. This kid was on absolute freaking cloud 9 the whole time he was there. Huge shout out to everyone that was there. There was one guy that built a roller coaster pirate ship, and every time Easton walked over, if it was off, he would see him coming and turn it on. And like, I thank you for that, because that was a highlight of our entire trip to that air show, was being able to see the Legos, the F-22. Kid has not stopped talking about it. He is in love with Legos, as he should be, because Legos are awesome. I mean, there's no way around that. I've built this. I've built Thor's hammer over there. You might be able to see this, probably not, down here, the Infinity Gauntlet. So, I mean, I love building them too. Over behind the computer camera, or the computer and the camera in it, is a whole other Lego build going on. It's the freight train one. I think he's got just the car left to build. I mean, obviously I help him with it and stuff, but he absolutely freaking loves the hell out of a good Lego set. And genuinely, it's so much fun to watch his eyes light up about it, because he loves it. It's extreme fun for him. And I love that he loves it, because it's something that he can continue to do. Hate that he loves it because it's so expensive sometimes, especially the sets, but we'll get him out of that and into building custom stuff that he can just kind of enjoy with the Legos he's got. At the Greece Public Library, who who basically like said how he builds Legos as a side job for a living, because it's that lucrative for him, which is just amazing to hear it. But people are to build Legos for that job, for a company. So, I mean, just it's so cool to hear that in 2024, Legos have come that as, and it's such a nerdy. If you don't know me, or this is your first time watching, I actually wrote a book on uh, being nerdy, and why it is so important, especially for our kids, but especially for our teachers. I'm a teacher myself. Love teaching. Absolutely enjoy the hell out of it. I, I know this sounds cliche, but it truly is a life calling for me. And just felt a need to write a book that was for teachers, by a teacher, about teaching, not just about teaching, but really allowing people to see that the generation that we're raising right now, the kids that we have, are kids that are nerds. I mean, genuinely, our kids are super nerdy, and it's amazing. It just is. So the Kickstarter for that's launching August 10th, Spider-Man's birthday, and can't wait for that to launch. I'm excited about it. I'm hoping it does well. Our goal is $7,500. Just hoping to reach that and more, obviously, but also just want to get the word out there about this book because I feel that it is extremely beneficial for teachers to teach kids and meet kids where they're at. One of the reasons why kids fail is because they don't feel like they're heard all the time. So being able to make sure kids feel heard is extremely beneficial. Oops. Screwed up something here. Nope, I didn't. Just need to add a piece. So being able to do all of that and still do the job I absolutely love doing is extremely beneficial to me. And just fun. I mean, genuinely. I love that I get to go to work, teach kids, make a difference in kids' lives, help to bring up the future generation, the future leaders of our world, and hopefully, as I said, make a difference. Everybody has that teacher that they know and love from years and years of learning, and to be able to say that you had a teacher that found even the nerdiest of sides of you interesting and engaging and fun really speaks to the fact that that teacher had an impact in your life. I remember some of the coolest teachers I ever had were some of the nerdiest teachers that I've ever had. I never would have watched Napoleon Dynamite if it wasn't for my 7th grade ELA teacher. God honest. We watched it in lunch, and genuinely was probably one of the funniest, dumbest movies I'd ever watched. But it was so much fun watching our teacher watch it. It was so much fun enjoying it together as like a little lunch bunch of kids in 7th grade, 11 and 12-year-olds. So just, I mean, that those memories are stuff that are ingrained in my head because my teacher was willing to be nerdy with us, willing to be open and share those experiences. Teachers do that. Some teachers don't dive into their nerdy side in front of their kids, and honestly, I wish more teachers would. So that's why I was like, hey, here's how to do it. A lot of books talk about the theory of teaching, talk about the dramatized ways or things that teachers go through and all of that. But it's like not many books talk about the actual how, the process, the all of that that goes into really making that kind of stuff come alive, which loses out on a lot of extreme benefits of great teaching. Oops. Completely forgot about that piece. I'm hoping I can finish this tonight. That is the goal. Don't have much time to stay up, but definitely want to get this done. All right. That's meant to be a little bit lower. Okay. these pillars and stuff, while they're repetitive, are nice because I mean it's kind of like that. Hey, this is what I need to do. Um, this is the stage I'm at. Cool. But at the same time, I'm always trying to figure out what's the best way to do it because sometimes it feels easier to do it like onto the actual structure. Other times it's like, ooh, do I want to build it onto the structure? Do I want to build it and then put it on the structure? What's quicker, genuinely? Alrighty, we're back over on this side now. Boom, 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 boom. So, the other thing we're going to be doing tonight, I'm going to be giving you my honest live reaction to the final Deadpool trailer. I have not watched it yet. I did that on purpose. One, since it came out so close to the live, I was like, oh, I got to do this for the live. I got to do it while I'm with you guys. So you guys can get the honest, genuine reaction. Felt that would be a fun thing to do. Maybe I'll continue to do it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But definitely excited to watch this trailer. I'm excited to go to the movies. We're going to be going opening night on Thursday. Don't know if I'm going to pick up a popcorn bucket yet. Not quite sure. Not too concerned if I miss out on one, in all honesty. I've picked up multiple ones in the past. I've got the Groot one over there from Guardians 3, and that was the last one I picked up. Haven't felt the need to collect them. They take up so much space. The cups, too. They take up so much space. I feel as though I'm not going to get back to them anytime soon. Like, you know, it's one of those things. I'm trying to only collect what I'm going to keep. And that's tough because I don't know what I'm going to keep. Genuinely. 13. There's a body of Betty Bryant. Body, hair, legs for Jay Jonah. Jay Jonah also gets a pen. So his head is in a different bag. That's part of the build right here. There's her hair. See, this is what I don't get. His hair was in the bag with her head. Oh, I'm definitely doing this version. Definitely doing this. Don't know how you can see his face, but Spidey thwipped a web over his mouth. It's amazing. Definitely love that for him. Oh, JJ, good to have you. It's kind of crazy that some of these minifigures are actually worth more than the built piece itself after a while. There's his pen. Oh, use the pen to pop open the webbing. All right. don't need any of the windows yet. I'm not going to open that one. Not going to open 14 yet, obviously. Here's where we build a desk for J. Jonah Jameson. I'm guessing. Top floor, top dog. This is not going to be simple. That is for certain. So we're talking about the Deadpool trailer. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. I'm excited for the movie. I definitely do think it could save the MCU. But genuinely, at the end of the day, it's kind of like Michael Scott. Our asses didn't need no saving. Simply because I still feel as though it's not just an MCU problem, it's a movie problem. It's people aren't going to the movies as much anymore. People are not, people's expectations were set extremely high for Endgame, and those expectations have not gone down, good, bad, or indifferent. So that's kind of led to people resenting Marvel and Star Wars. Definitely think that Rogue One set some very big expectations for everything to come after it. And some stuff has met up to Rogue One, and a lot of stuff has not. So I completely understand it. The fact that The Acolyte is getting a season 2, from what I've heard, is pretty insane to me. I don't think it deserves one. I don't think that shoehorning Plagueis into the end of it was by any means a good idea, especially since the fans were already not on anybody's side for that show. So to sit there and say, oh yeah, we're going to do this, that was just stupid, to say the least. I was shocked that they would even consider thinking that would be a good idea. Not saying Plagueis didn't deserve a role in there. I definitely believe that that's where it should have went. I do think it also should have went, or could have went, to Knights of Ren, instead of let's introduce one of the biggest Sith Lords of the pre-Skywalker generation. I can't think of her name on top of my head right now. Shoe her name into Star Wars lore for a foreseeable future. Leslie Headland, that's who it was. I don't understand that at all. Not that it was good, bad, indifferent, whatever you want to say about it. However you want to put it. Why do you need to be the person to do that when there was nothing leading up that ever made it feel like Darth Plagueis was anywhere near anything? I'm okay with you doing what you need to do to build up to some crazy reveal, but to reveal a hand to basically say, "Hey, idiots," because that's pretty much how they treated Star Wars fans for that show. True Star Wars fans, not just. I don't want to gatekeep. I'm not going to be that guy. That's what they did for that show. They built it up and completely destroyed lore. And to sit there and say that they didn't, or to sit there and say that It's okay. It's not. It's okay to change what you need to change. Don't go destroying stuff just to shoehorn your name into Star Wars Legacy because you're the first person to put Plagueis on the screen. That was just stupid. And then thinking that people wouldn't see right through that was just absolutely ridiculous. How dare you treat fans like that? And again, I'm not saying that you can't have Plagueis. I'm not saying that Plagueis didn't belong in that show. I'm saying Plagueis doesn't deserve to have a place in a show that he had nothing to do with. He genuinely, there was nothing leading up to that Plagueis was any part of that. There was nothing leading up to that the apprentice, if you even want to call him that, was working for Plagueis. Nothing. So to sit there and say, hey, we're going to do Plagueis, and it's going to go off well, and we're going to just include a small little cameo so we get a season 2, like, come on. Do you think we're idiots? Do you think Star Wars fans are genuinely just dumbasses in disguise? Like, what the hell are you thinking? I'll tell you what, nothing. There's stuff going on in there, but it's all... It's motivated by greed. And I don't know how it's motivated by greed because you're not making any money. And I don't know. When you're not making money, it's very difficult for someone to sit there and say, yeah, let's keep doing this. Like, come on. Then you have the audacity to insult an entire group of fans. That was just insane to me. For anyone in the Disney realm to talk trash about some of the most loyal fans in the entire world. And I'm a Marvel fan. And there's DC fans out there. They're loyal as all hell. But to sit there and say that these fans just are toxic, that way about some people who have been following this since they were 8 years, about, not even some people, about people who've been following this since they were pretty good. And then you go and make something worse than the holiday special? Like, bro, come on. Do us like that. Seriously. I know I'm almost at the end because the last newspaper article just went up. Yo, Spider's Lair. What up? Oh yeah, the Acolyte. Yeah, exactly. You're going to shoehorn a character in there that you know people are going to get hyped about. Because, I mean, it's one of the biggest characters of the Star... Like I said, one of the biggest, if not the biggest character of Star Wars lore. You're going to sit there and basically say, this is my character to play around with, not yours. Go get your own character. Huh? Like, what? Sup, sorry, couldn't make it tonight. Dude, you're good. No worries. I totally get it. It's okay. I am not I'm not butthurt about it. You go enjoy your anniversary. Have fun with that. Get off of here. Go have fun with your wife. Go enjoy everything you possibly can for whatever you guys are doing for your anniversary. I wish you all the best and get the hell out of here. And I say that in the nicest way possible. Um, but yeah, again, us Star Wars fans are perfectly a-okay if you want to do something with the lore. Just keep it within the lore. Keep it legit. Don't try to push an agenda. Don't try to make it more than it has to be, because it doesn't. All it has to be is a great story. That's it. And we will eat that shit up. But the fact that you've got Star Wars fans literally turning off a show that's meant for them is insanity to me. Like, if you're saying that you're making this for Star Wars fans, and if you're saying, and then you bring in actors that say, oh, remember when Anakin blew up the Death Star? Multiple times he said that. I don't understand what you're trying to accomplish anymore. I don't get that. I don't. Go ahead, do you. Enjoy making your show. I'm all for it. I enjoy making my show for the 20 people a week that might watch it. When we hit a big number, awesome. I love it. But to go and make a Star Wars show for Star Wars fans and then basically crap on those fans to them, thinking they won't hear about it, thinking they won't watch your interviews, is insanity to me. Like, Dorinda, have a good night with Mike. Definitely see you next week, brother. If not, some other time this weekend. But go have your fun. Take the weekend. um, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's just crazy, in all honesty. Crazy the way that Star Wars fans, especially older Star Wars fans, have been treated by. And it's not Disney. It really isn't. I'm not going to sit here and blame Disney like other YouTubers do, because I don't believe it's Disney. I genuinely believe it's the people they hire, and that they're trying their best to pump out content, and they're just struggling to find the right people to do it. I don't know why or how or what, or however you want to put it. I don't know. But at the end of the day, Disney, hire me, hire Mike. Yo, Alex, how's work going, brother? Um, hire Alex. He can he can probably write a good story too. At the end of the day, hire the fans, hire the people who care about these shows, because they're the ones who are going to dive in. They're the ones who are going to be your biggest supporters when you do amazing jobs. And here's the crazy part. You could do amazing work. It's an amazing story. Trust us. We love it for a reason. We enjoy the hell out of these movies for a reason. But yet, at the end of the day, you still go and make garbage. And then get greenlit for a season 2. Super hot and tiring, taking an ice cream break to cool off. Damn, dude. You go do you. Have fun with that. I can definitely write a better story. I believe it. It's one of those things where it's like, we've got so many stories as fans kind of pent up in our heads of where you could have taken these characters for years. And to take them to where you've taken them, to bring about characters that you've brought about, just seems wasted. Absolutely wasted talent, wasted uh, efforts, wasted money. I mean, take the money out of it for a second and just look at the wasted talent of some of the actors and actresses that were in Acolyte. Like, you were interviewing with a character that died in episode 5. Wasn't even part of the main story. Was just kind of the background guy. But for some reason, that had to be the guy that you had to talk to, and then he went and blew up the Death Star with Anakin. Maybe you were just trying to drum up support or drum up controversy to turn that into support. It didn't work. In case you were wondering, it did not work at all. This is why I like this build, because I can think ahead and be like, ooh, I should probably do some windows first before I go and do these pillars, because when I did the pillars first, it worked out okay. Not great, though. It would help if I connected the windows correctly. That would be a good thing. I love this build, honestly. My wife was talking about getting me this, and I was like, no, you don't have to do that. I'm so glad that she didn't listen to me. Men, when you're married, you'll understand. And she's right. She's right. It's that simple. I thought the second season was canceled. I just saw that it was going to happen. I don't know. It could have been complete malarkey, as Sheldon would say. Who knows? Honestly, I didn't hate that they brought about Plagueis. I just didn't like that they did it in such a way that it was like, hey, by the way, here's Plagueis, 5 seconds. Here's his hand. Take it or leave it. No, I'm going to leave it, because you have no right bringing Plagueis into this right now. You had no reason to ever have Plagueis in here because you didn't build that into your storyline. If you would have built it into your storyline, we might have bought it. We might have had fun with it. But instead, you built the story around a character that no one could relate to. And the worst part is there was actually some good chemistry between an actress and herself, I will admit. But there was actually some good chemistry on screen between characters. There was some great lightsaber battling. But nothing there as far as a storyline that actually worked. Nothing there as far as useful lead up to say, hey, Plagueis is coming. Like, did you hear anyone talking about Plagueis before episodes 8 dropped? Nope. I heard people talking about the Knights of Ren. I heard people talking about the possibility of a Sith Lord, and how bad that would actually be, because that would basically ruin canon completely. And similar to what Ahsoka did, kind of having to basically rewrite lore for a whole other reason. Ahsoka pretty much did it because the sequels were just god awful. I like the way Ahsoka did it, in all honesty. Thought that was done really, really well. But I digress. One of the biggest things is just that, again, the way that it was written made it out to be like this throw it in your face, Star Wars fans. You don't really know what you're talking about. Go find something else to hate on, like that kind of vibe. And I'm not here for that. No one should be there for that. Because at the end of the day, we're the reason why Star Wars has become what it's become. Without George Lucas's idea and one of, again, the biggest fan bases in all. Dude, the Daily Bugle is looking fire. Oh my god, yeah, when they brought Yoda in, yo, like, one, he should have been in it from the beginning if you're going to do a storyline like that. Personally, that's just my opinion. And you're going to introduce Darth Plagueis. Like, who would have seen it coming? Yoda. We all know you love the shirtless scene, Chris. Don't deny it. Don't try to deny it. Which shirtless scene? Which show? The one with, was it, you're talking about Kylo Ren, or was there a different shirtless scene that I would have loved? The Kylo Ren one was just stupid. Again, you're talking about someone that, again, no one's built a relationship with that character, so who the hell cares if he takes his shirt off, leaves it on, whatever, what have you. I sure as hell don't. My wife sure as hell didn't. She's like, why the hell is he taking his shirt off? I was like, good question. Meanwhile, you got Hugh Jackman's 50, 60-year-old man. Wasn't there a shirtless scene? Like, dude, I honestly don't remember if there was or not. There probably was. Oh, yes. The guy, yeah, he was completely naked in the thing, and he's like, hey, you can either put that down or come join me. And I'm like, what? Did you just hit on the sister of the girl you've been training? Like, what are you talking about? You're completely naked in a pool. Who is that for? That's just weird. Hugh Jackman will always be fire, whatever age. Totally agree. Actually saw it, so I'm gonna watch the Deadpool final trailer in a few minutes. I want to finish this bag, and then I will do that. That way you guys can get my honest, completely untainted, uncalculated reaction. But yeah, I just don't get it. And my wife probably was a bigger Star Wars fan than I was when we first started dating. And that's saying something because I love Star Wars. But her and her brother absolutely freaking loved it. She has not watched Acolyte. She has not watched Andor. She has not watched Mando Season 3, Book of Boba Fett. There's something else in there that I'm forgetting. But like everything that's come out recently, she hasn't watched. She just hasn't cared to watch it. We watched Solo and actually left the theater early. One, because it was just freezing cold and we were at the drive-in when it first came out, and that was like a March movie, I want to say, or April, so it was still kind of cold at night up here. Ended up leaving early, and we would have powered through it, but genuinely didn't have the will. Turned it on when it came out of on streaming, watched it through. It was okay. There were good and bad stuff. Donald Glover was definitely a bright light in there. Love seeing anything he's in. But my wife was a huge fan of Han Solo in the original trilogy, the originals. And for her to say that was just ridiculous and stupid really kind of meant something, because you're talking about a fan who loves this, who will not go back and watch it. Like, what does that tell you? I'm genuinely curious. What does that tell you about that show, that movie? When you've got a fan who loves Star Wars but refuses to go back and watch something because they genuinely just can't bring themselves to watch the garbage. See? I never finished Solo. It's not worth finishing. Genuinely. I wish I could say that it was, because I wanted it to be amazing. You've got Donald Glover. You've got, well, that's pretty much it. I think that was where it suffered the most, was the fact that they didn't get someone for Solo that fans could see as Solo. You're talking about one of the biggest characters in Star Wars lore from the original trilogy, and fans can't get behind that character. They felt cheated by the way that that character was treated. What does that tell you? Not even Emilia Clarke could save it. Truth. I honestly forgot Emilia Clarke was even in it. Honest to God. And again, what does that tell you about that movie? Genuinely. I hate having to line all these up. Let's do this one. Hopefully. There we go. And this one. And this. So I lost a piece for a second. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Looking great. Oh, Spider-Ham comes out now. What do you do with all these little tiny pieces when you're done? That was the only reason you started watching, is because Emilia Clarke was in it. That's the only reason I watched Madam Web, was because Sydney Sweeney was in it. Honest to God. I don't get this. DC. And DC is the biggest problem for that, because do that. But don't do it at the expense of the fans that don't know the lore, to the point where you struggle to sell tickets. Well, no shit. Of course they're going to show up. Years. Of course they're going to show up if they've been showing up for years. Like, come on. I keep them in case I need spare pieces. That's what I do. I just don't know where to put them. And then if I do need spare pieces, it's like, oh shit. There we go. If I do need spare pieces, then I've forgotten where I've put those spare pieces. So then I'm really screwed. And it's just one thing after another. Spider Pig! Those legs don't even bend. He's so short. Oh no! Spider Pig! I know it's actually Spider Ham, but I like Spider Pig better. Even though That's a Simpsons thing, and I've always kind of just steered away from Simpsons because they're so mainstream. It's the one hipster thing about me. Don't like the Simpsons because they're too mainstream. It's actually Spider Ham. I know. I know, Alex. I get it. I know it's Spider Ham. Next, you're going to be telling me it's Leviosa, not Leviosa. Where's Venom's head? Probably in a different bag. I will never understand how Lego bags this stuff up. There's literally this, all of Venom, like this came in one bag. All of Venom's little tendrils came in another bag. And then Venom's head is in a different bag. Explain that to me. If you can tell me how that makes any sense, you must work for Lego. It's the only thing I can think of. In all honesty. That's all window pieces. I'm going to leave that in the bag like I did last time. And there's more tendrils in here. God damn it. What the hell? Meanwhile, all you got to do for Miles is make him twip a web. Like, brosif. Okay. Let's stop. Think. Do something. Alright, so this and this go like that. Cool. And there's another one of those somewhere. And that goes in like that. Sweet. This goes in his other hand. Cool. Then you've got this that goes on his back like this. Then you've got, Jesus Christ, this thing is huge. And yes, I know that's what she said. I walked 6.22 miles today. Dude, that's awesome. To work out, for work, what was the reasoning behind it? If you don't mind me asking. Just felt like it? Oh, alrighty. Now we've got how did the Microsoft thing affect you today? Oh, and you walk for work? Cool. The most was 9 miles. That's awesome. Wish I walked more. What the hell's going on my Wi-Fi? Fucking Microsoft. I swear to God. Alex, you haven't seen that short that I put up today, the fuck Microsoft one? You gotta go watch it. You will laugh your ass off if you've seen Space Force. And as I've always said, Steve Carell is 99% of the time ahead of his time. especially when it comes to comedy. Because that was just absolute perfection. Ooh, instead of flipping a web. Aw. Darn it. Wanted to have Miles flip a pigeon. There we go. Flipping a pigeon. The outage ruined sales for everyone yesterday. Bro, I can imagine. It had to be crazy. There we go. There's Miles, there's Venom, there's Spider-Ham. Now, before I get into this bag, I am going to watch the Deadpool trailer. Let's do it. Probably put final trailer. All right, here we go. Turn it up. Definitely an interesting tone for a Deadpool movie. Yeah, he was. What did you just say? Yes. No, he doesn't.
You were always wrong. Till you weren't.
That's what I thought he said. Oh my god, I'm so hyped for this. X-23 on this movie, I am so hyped for. That was a very dark trailer. I don't think we ever got that dark with Deadpool, even when Cable was just an absolute asshole. Like, damn. Now we gotta go back to this? Ugh. What the hell? I was not. People were saying how dark that trailer was going to be. And I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was expecting something along the lines of somewhere between like Cable and Logan, those style of trailers. I wasn't expecting a more Logan esque trailer with a lot of Logan um, qualities. I mean, there was a lot of old footage in there from the Logan movie and from old X-Men movies that was just really well used. I guess is the best way for me to say that, because genuinely, how do you do something that no one's ever done before when a lot of it's been done before? You make it better than it already was. I think that's the best answer, is just take what works and continue to work it. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. And honestly, I feel like that's what a lot of movie companies have been trying to do lately, is reinvent the wheel. And that does not work. At least we haven't seen it work. I'll say that. Movie's going to be the best of the year. Dude, here's the thing, though. What movie does it actually have to keep up with? Because there really hasn't been a best movie of the year yet. Inside Out 2 was amazing. Don't get me wrong. That movie was absolute fire. I loved it. But it's a kid's movie. You can't compare the two. What adult-driven movie has been amazing to the point that you could honestly call it the best movie of the year halfway through the year? What movie has come out that you could name that you could say that about? I'll wait. I'll give you a hint. There hasn't been one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6. Who do we appreciate? Boom, boom. There has not been a best movie of the year in quite some time. Like, best movie of the year in 2023 was Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But again, it didn't have a shit ton of competition. That's why it's going to be the best. But it needs to have competition. If it doesn't have competition, then what's the point of being the best? And that's my biggest struggle, is we talk about the best movies of the year, but there's not really competition lately. It seems like everything's either crap or just mediocre. And then the mediocre stuff doesn't get the people to come. And you fall down the rabbit hole all over again. And yes, while it is really awesome to have Deadpool competing against all these other movies, I don't know that it actually helps to say it's the best when the ones it's competing against aren't good or aren't great. That shits on everything. That's never who I'm going to be as a YouTuber. A great movie, but can we genuinely say it's the best movie? That's what I'm struggling with. You know? Oppenheimer and Barbie for 2023. Yeah, Barbie was amazing for 2023. Definitely, I mean, I enjoyed Guardians a lot more. Obviously, just because I love Guardians. It's one of my absolute favorite, all-time favorite movies. Or movie trilogies, I should say. Than just one movie. From start to finish. And I love that we got such an amazing storyline for Guardians, because they went from such an obscure group to one of the best known character groups in the Marvel Universe, which not an easy feat to do. I mean, we all know Marvel's got its top dogs. We get it. Every series has that, but every company, I guess you could say, has that. But damn, Guardians stole the show in a lot of ways from a lot of people. A lot of well-established groups. What the hell? Get into that point in this build where it's the tiniest of pieces that I'm just not losing, but not seeing. Literally missing this little 3-piece right here. Maybe I put a 3-piece where one doesn't belong. Supposed to have one. I opened all my bag 14s. The hell, guys? Flipped upside down, sitting right in front of my face. Went over about 4 times. I think you need some new internet, Chris. I can help you with that. Dude, I need to turn this computer off, turn it back on again, clean it up a little bit. Been trying to clean it up. I think there's a lot of storage that's being used up on it because I used to use this for video editing, and a lot of those videos are still there. So I don't like to delete stuff. I never know when I might need a video again, but I haven't been doing video editing on a computer lately because it's been so much, like, video editing has become a mobile device thing. So I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, what shall I do? You know? So this goes on top of that. This goes on top of that. And then this goes here. And that fits right her. All right. Now we've got these. Whoa. Nine of them to be exact. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, that Deadpool trailer. Who do you think it is? Blake Lively or Taylor Swift? Free phones. I switch over to AT&T, whew, tempting. I think I can get a free phone right now at Verizon. I think I'm available for an upgrade. As long as I trade in my current or existing phone. Now I get to build a birdie nest. Once I'm done doing these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And they explain to me why some of these were in one bag and some of them were in another bag. Like, wouldn't you put all of the same style piece together? You do it any other time. Why don't you do it now? Don't get it, Lego. All right. These two go on top of that like that. This, what's that thing on there? This gets this piece. It's also crazy because all these pieces, or most of these pieces, are gray, so they all kind of blend in with each other, especially after a while. Then this goes here. And you've got all these wonderful pieces that go like this. A boom, 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 boom. And there you have it, an air conditioner with a bird on it. And that goes right there. Can't see that. Boom. All right. Now I do believe it is time to build. Oh, nope, not yet. Here I thought I was going to start building windows and stuff. Guess not. Holy shit. One big sticker that I cannot fuck up. Whoa. You stuck too soon, J. Jonah. Nope. Let's try this from the bottom. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Because it's such a dark black, there's no easy way to see exactly where I'm going from and where I'm going to. All right. There's that. Boom. Taylor's overrated. Oh, how dare you? You did not just say that about T-Swizzle. I think she would make a much better Dazzler than a Lady Deadpool. I think her talents, as good or bad as they are, would just be absolutely wasted. Not saying she's God's gift to Earth, but definitely do think that she is very talented. But I do not think that she would be a good Lady Deadpool. I also don't think that that would do anything for this movie. I think Blake Lively being Lady Deadpool would be so much better for a lot of reasons. I strongly believe that Blake Lively is a better actress. I also strongly believe that it is going to be extremely funny to see Ryan Reynolds make a joke about nepotism in this movie if that's his wife. I want to see that joke in some way, shape, or form. Want to see what he can do with a joke like that. Pretty sure I just screwed something up on the front. I did. I messed up his chair. I knew it. All right, we are on step 432. Whoop, whoop. As my kids would say. This is now officially so tall that I have to move it away from the microphone. Nope, wrong way. Uh-oh. Something fell. Damn you, Jay Jonah, and your movable chair. What just fell? Hopefully not a piece. I don't think it was a piece. I'm at peace that it wasn't a piece. You guys can barely even see me anymore. Holy shit. This thing is ginormous, and I'm loving it. Hold up. These should all line up, as far as I understand. Yeah. Every level on the front should line up with each other. Don't break it. All right. I'm confident in that. You barely see me. It's a good thing I'm tall. Let's just say that. Holy shit. A dude that I was at a Lego, or that I saw at the air show, they were doing Legos at the air show. If you didn't hear about that, 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6. Not this one. 2, 4, 6, 8. All right. A dude that was at the Lego show at the air show was telling me how he had 2 Daily Bugles and he combined them to make one gigantic Daily Bugle. He then ended up taking it apart and putting lights in it. So now I definitely want to put lights in this. Because I just think that's so freaking cool. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But I think that would be just badass. It would look sick. Lit up. I mean, with 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Aha. Then this goes on top of this, which is also covered by this. That makes much more sense. I didn't miss anything. Just needed to go back and relook. 2, 4, 6, 8. Sweet. Nope. That was 10. 3. Alrighty. Boom. Rocking it. Sweet. 4. Another 4. This one goes on the end. Another 4 in between. Perfect. Oh. We're going to pull from the extras for that one because I don't know where that went. Yo, I'll see you soon, buddy. Have a good night. Once again, we got to do Windows, so let's do it the way I did it before. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on top of each other. All right. 3, 4, 5, 6. Sweet. All right. Now, speed build this bottom. All of these go all here. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Deadpool. I love that my wife wants to go see it with me. I made a joke a while back. I was like, oh, well, if you don't want to go see it, maybe I'll take one of your coworkers to go see it with me. Because he was extremely excited about it too. I was like, oh, Nick and I can go. And then she came to me today and goes, make sure you're free next Thursday. I was like, for Deadpool? She goes, it's a surprise. I said, for Deadpool? It's a Deadpool surprise? She goes, it's a surprise. Just allow it to be a surprise. I said, for Deadpool? Because I was going to surprise you with tickets for Deadpool and take you. She goes, just allow it to be a surprise. I was like, okay. Was literally looking at Deadpool tickets today. Which I don't know if that's... I can still find tickets for opening night for a movie that's this hyped. I mean, this is hyped pretty big. If it's going MCU, let's be real about that. The MCU, and I honestly think that, again, the MCU doesn't truly need saving. I think it needs good movies. It needs amazing work done and fans who are willing to accept the fact that not everything is going to be Endgame. Honestly, there were some bad things about Captain Marvel. There were some bad things about Miss Marvel. There were some bad things about a lot of bad things about She-Hulk. But never once would I say that any of those shows were unwatchable like The Acolyte was. And let's be realistic here. It was extremely enjoyable to watch the dynamic between Brie Larson and I'm going to butcher her name, and honestly don't want to. Miss Marvel and Monica Rambeau's actresses. It was amazing to see that chemistry. It was amazing to see Nick Fury back on the screen in a movie. Did kind of suck to see it not go so well for Secret Invasion, that they played that really weird. But honestly, I didn't hate Secret Invasion. I think that's another one that suffered from uh, high expectations or overly high expectations. I mean, it's a TV show. It's one season. One of the biggest struggles with TV shows is you can't if you turn people out um, from it in the first episode, it's hard to get them back. But also, you're talking about a TV show that was basically made as a movie. So again, you got to understand that as a fan. Is you're talking about a 4 hour long movie split up into 6 episode TV shows. It's not easy to do, number one. And then on top of that, it's definitely difficult to make all the action happen in the first episode. And I don't know how people wanted Secret Invasion to be. I don't know why people thought that it was going to be doable to put like a Captain America in there, to put like all these Avengers. Like, you got to understand, comic books are a lot different. You don't have to pay Captain America's actor every single time he shows up. Like, Ryan Reynolds did one of the most expensive cameos by putting Chris Evans in Free Guy. Like, that was insane, to say the least. But again, he knew what he was doing. But that can't happen in every single movie and every single show. Sometimes we have to lower our expectations to what is acceptable, which again, that involves using actors that are there, and I mean, honestly, amazing actors. And if you really think that it was a ploy to have the woman be the Super Skrull, I'm like, bro, really? Is that what we're going with now? Is that really how we're going to play this one? Because there has to be a woke agenda involved. Come on. 2, 4, 6, 8. This one's going to go here. One of the things that I don't like about this one is that I could basically form that top layer any way I wanted to. But the OCD part of me is like, no, you got to do it the way they told you. So it's not right. It's not the way they want it. The GPS knows. It knows. You know what that's a reference to? The Office. There's that. Here's these. So close. This is a fairly quick build. I will say that. If I wasn't talking all the time and getting distracted and all that fun stuff, I definitely feel that I could have done this in about 10 hours. That's what the guy at the show, the air show, told me he did it in. Definitely feel I could have done that. But I'm doing this too. Like, just sit down and buckle down and do all of that in one sitting. Definitely wouldn't be able to have kids on that day. Need to send them somewhere, that's for sure. But on a serious note, I don't know. I'm enjoying that this is taking me a while. I'm enjoying the building process. I'm honestly going to be sad when this one's done. It was that piece that rolled off. Damn it. I knew it was. There. There we go. All right. The last piece of the facade. Now I get to put it on. Okay. Do I want to start bag 15? I've got 50. I've got some like 50 more steps. No, I've got almost 100 more. This feels like the never-ending story. Okay. How big is bag 15? There's one of them. There's the other one. And what time is it? Midnight. I've got to go to bed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I absolutely appreciate everything that you guys have done to support over the past 4 years now. Also appreciate all the support that you guys have done over this year, 2024. It has not been easy for YouTubers. It has not been easy for social media, for us small YouTubers and TikTok and all of that. So I do appreciate every bit of support you guys have given. Please go support my Kickstarter. It launches August 10th. The link is in my bio. Go check that out. I'm going to just continue to plug that because, again, I want this to come out and I want this book to be successful because I do feel that it is a great book that people can learn from and enjoy. And yeah, all of that. Thank you guys for watching. Stay nerdy out there, and nerdy teachers rock.